Today, I want to share with you a quiet, beautiful story about a wise old sage, a lake as still as glass, and a young man searching for answers in all the wrong places. A story about self-awareness, about inner clarity, and about the truth we often forget. If you want your life to change, you must learn to look within yourself first. Long ago in the mountains, far from any city noise, there was a small village surrounded by deep forests. Not far from the village lay a mysterious lake, so calm, so perfectly clear, that people called it Mirror Lake. In that village lived an old sage named Elder Min, a calm, gentle man in his 70s, known for his simple but powerful wisdom. Villagers often came to him when their hearts were restless. One morning, a young man named Than, about 25 years old, came to see the sage. His face was full of frustration and anger. "Master," he said, "I try so hard, yet life seems completely against me. People don't respect me. Friends don't understand me. Everything feels wrong no matter what I do." The sage looked at him calmly and asked, "Do you truly want an answer?" "Yes," Than replied quickly. "I want to know why my life is so difficult." The sage stood up and said, "Come with me. We will visit Mirror Lake." They walked through the forest, passing tall trees and soft sunlight, until they reached the still, silent lake. A lake so smooth it looked like a giant mirror placed gently in the mountains. The sage said softly, "Look into the lake and tell me what you see." Than leaned down. At first he saw only his reflection, but as the water grew clearer, he saw something else. A face twisted with frustration, with blame, with anger he didn't even realize he was carrying. Startled, he said, That looks terrible. Why do I look like that?" The sage replied, "That is not your outer face. That is the face of your inner state." Than tried to defend himself. "But how can I fix everything around me? People are unfair, life is harsh. How can I make the world change?" The old sage smiled gently. "You cannot clean a lake by picking up each leaf floating on the surface. But you can clean yourself, and the lake will reflect that change." The young man froze. The words struck him like a quiet lightning bolt. The sage continued, "You want an easier life? You want respect? You want better friendships? You want clarity?" Than nodded slowly. "Then begin with what is inside you, not with what is outside." The sage picked up a small stone and tossed it into the lake. Ripples spread instantly. "You see this?" he said. "A simple thought, a single anger, one negative emotion. It will ripple out and disturb everything around you. But if you change within, even a little, those positive ripples will reach everything in your life." Than stayed silent. For the first time in years, he felt someone was holding a mirror up to his heart, not just his face. The sage continued, "You cannot force others to change first, but you can change yourself. And when you do, the world around you cannot help but change with you. This lake only reflects what already exists inside you." Than looked into the water again. This time he saw not anger, but a young man finally beginning to understand himself. He whispered, "So where do I begin?" The sage smiled warmly. "Begin by being honest with your own heart. Ask yourself, what am I carrying inside? And then learn to correct that." Than thanked the sage and sat beside the lake for a while longer. He no longer felt intimidated by it. Instead, he felt as if the lake was gently helping him see the person he could become. When he finally stood up to leave, he turned toward the lake and whispered, If I want my life to change, I must be the first to change. And that is the wisdom of Mirror Lake, a lesson for all of us. If you want clarity in life, you must first find clarity within yourself. If you want the world to change, begin by changing who you are. Because life, just like this lake, reflects whatever is living inside your heart.